Hey guys, today the topic of interest is how to let go of the anger in your heart. So in this video I'll be teaching you how to forgive people. And I found that the easiest way to forgive people is by understanding this, that people are only making decisions based on their level of rationalization. So what that means is that people are only doing the best that they can. They're only making decisions based on their level of personal growth. So it's never to do with you. So whether you believe it or not, people are only doing their best, right? Nobody wakes up with the intention thinking, you know what, I feel like destroying all my relationships today. I want to make everybody who cares about me despise me. Nobody wants to do that, right? Yeah, people are just doing the best that they can. And when you understand this, you no longer take things personally. So let me give you a prime example. So let's say I have a friend that I trust and he comes over to my house and I'm like, yeah, come on over, let's chill, and I leave the room. And then he starts stealing some of my belongings, right? Once I find out that he's stolen my belongings, I'll be furious. I'll be angry. I'll be like, why would you do that, bro? I thought we were friends. I thought, I trusted you. You came into my house and you're taking my stuff. I'll be angry. I'll be upset, right? But when I understand that people are only making decisions based on their level of rationalization, I'll be able to understand that the only reason that my friend stole from me was because he thought that the only way that he could overcome his perceived level of lack was to take from me. He thought that was the best way that he could do that. Now, naturally, I would have been happy to borrow him money if he needed it. I would have been happy to help him in his time of need. But in his mind, he thought, like, that's the only way that I could do it. Okay? So just by understanding this, I no longer have to take what he did to me personally. But that also doesn't mean that things go back to the way they were, right? That doesn't mean that, when he comes back, I'll be like, you know what, I trust you, don't worry. I'm not going to observe you when you come into my house. That doesn't mean that happens. It just means that I don't take it personally. Because you have to understand that people are only really acting out of their pain. So when people wrongdo you, when people treat you badly, it's nothing to do with you. It's just that they're acting out of their own pain. Because people by nature are actually loving and kind, whether you believe it or not. That's why we get ill when we hold on to resentment. That's why we fall ill when we act out of character, right? Because it's not in our nature to be angry, right? We're supposed to be happy people. So it's kind of like this. It's kind of like a loving dog, right? The dogs are nice, right? But when a loving dog gets a thorn trapped in his paw, when the dog's like full of pain, it acts out of character. So the dog begins to bark, it becomes nasty, it starts biting, it no longer wants to go on walks, it no longer wants those cuddles, right? Because it's in pain, right? But as soon as you remove the thorn out of the dog's paw, the dog goes back to its normal nature. So it's loving, it's kind, it likes its walks all of a sudden. All of a sudden it wants to cuddle, right? All of a sudden it wants to lick your face, right? It's happy. But the thing is, the reason the dog was acting out of character, the reason the dog was nasty was because it was acting out of its own pain. And that's what a lot of people are doing. A lot of people are suffering and they don't know how to deal with the pain. That's why they lash out at you. And if you look back in your life, you'll find there have been times where you've done the same too, right? Haven't there been times when you've snapped at that cashier when it wasn't their fault? Have there been times where you've shouted at your child when your child didn't do anything to you? Have there been times when you've just lashed out at your friends, right? But your friends weren't even the problem. Your friends weren't even there when you're in a bad mood. Right. The reason you did that was because you were acting out of your pain, right? You in that moment when you were snapping, when you weren't very nice, when you said those hurtful things, that wasn't the real you. And you know that. It was just that you were acting out of your own pain, right? So when you really understand that, you no longer have to take things personally. So people are only doing the best that they can with what they know at the time. So as people begin to develop, they become to be more loving and more nurturing. So you don't have to take things personally. Okay, so I want you guys to understand that. Take this advice on board. Have a good day. Goodbye. All right.